In this video, we are gonna talk about some tips and tricks for mid to late game. These tips were tested and recorded on extreme difficulty. So here they are. When playing on harder difficulty, always make sure that you pay protection for the pirates that you encounter. If you miss the pop-up here, you can always go to diplomacy, pirate relations, and speak with them and offer protection agreement. It will cost you 125 credits per month. This will mean that depending on how many you'll have to pay tribute for each. In my case here, I will pay tribute of 6,000, but this is nothing on higher difficulty. I mean, you do get money harder, but if you break the treaties and you get invaded by them, you'll see that the money that they can steal from you is way more than you can pay them each year. So if I broke the treaty, I canceled the treaty, and now I have more pirates that are able to invade my mining bases. They can steal resources from there, but they can also steal credits. So I'll just fast forward until we get the first raid. Now we are under attack. We have these guys that are invading my mining station. They are raiding it. And if I pause the game, you'll see that they did steal more than 6,000 credits. And this is only one attack. So previously I was paying 4 of them. I was paying 4 of them for 6,000 a year. And now with only one attack, they stole more than that. So it's better to have them protecting you than attacking you, even if you have to pay money. Later in the game, if you increase your reputation with them by sending them gifts, you can increase the reputation and also have new treaties with them. That will mean non-aggressive treaty. That means that they won't attack you and you don't have to pay them for protection. And also, going even further, you can get a military refill agreement. That means that you can refill at their stations. So that is the highest you can go with pirates. But after a while, they will be integrated into your empire. As you can see here, all 4 that I had the agreement with them are now incorporated in our empire. And the space station is now being retrofitted to my own design. Other enemy you will encounter mid-game to late game is the Hive faction. They have special ships, and one of those are the carriers. My advice is don't try to destroy it, but try to capture it. You'll need a fleet that has transport ships. Those carry assault pods that will behave just like invading a planet, but they are able to capture ships. The Hive carrier has a lot of engines, as you can see. You can check the details when you encounter one. It also has a lot of shields and armor, and of course, being a carrier, fighters and bombers. You can see also that the Hive ship has Hive drive, which is the best one. You can see the details here. This drive will allow the Hive ship to jump a lot, so capturing it, it's not easy. You will have to chase it with your own fleet. So make sure that you don't lose sight of it. If you have long-range scanners, this would make things easier. So just use your fleet, right-click on the carrier and capture ship. Once your fleet is in range, it will start shooting at it and try to decrease its shield. You can see now that the carrier is surrounded by 2 of my fleets actually, and it's already trying to jump away, and I'm not able to decrease the shield in time. So make sure that your transport troop have enough firepower, or you don't need firepower for it. Just make sure that you have some combat ships that can damage the shields and keep chasing after it. You might also want to micromanage your ships and have the entire fleet on capture, but also use some normal ships to manually attack the carrier in order to decrease its shields. If you see that the carrier is taking too much damage and also armor damage, not only shield damage, make sure you pause the game when necessary in order to prevent it from being destroyed. You can manually set the fleet again to capture, or you can move away the attacking ships. If the armor is down and the shield keeps regenerating, when you'll hit the core of the ship, that means that you'll hit the modules, so eventually, hopefully, before it reaches 0%, you will manage to damage its shields, so they won't be regenerating, and your troop transport ship can capture the carrier. These are quite powerful ships, so you can see this one has around 16,000 strength, but this is based on the modules that it currently has equipped. Keep in mind that you cannot retrofit the ship with other components, so this hull is not available. You can redesign it, but you won't be able to build it. But the components that are on the carrier can be upgraded via software upgrade. That means if the carrier has a version 1 or 2 and you have research up to version 3 or even more, those components will be upgraded and the ship will be more powerful. As you can see in this save game, this is a late game. I managed to capture 4 of the carriers, of the Hive carriers, and the strength of them, each ship has reached 145,000 strength. This is the same design as the previous one, but of course the components have been upgraded with my latest tech. So the Spaceports are version 5, the reactors, hyperfusion reactors level 3, and each component that I already upgraded in my tech tree and this ship contained in its design, those counted as software upgrades, and the ship is more powerful now. I also have a war destroyer here with 4 million strength. I talked about this in my previous video, so if you haven't seen that, go check it out. And I do have my fleet with 4 carriers, which can kill a lot of ships and bases and clean my enemies with ease. And of course I do have the research for every component, so the ones that are used on the carrier are also there and upgraded. Early to mid game, you'll see that you'll get more money from the private sector as annual bonus income that you'll get from your colony, the people that will pay taxes to you. You can see that I have around 250,000 credits from the colonies, and double that in the previous year from the private sector. Things to keep in mind: you need to have resources to trade. You'll see that I have a lot of income from this. Every time a ship from another empire or independent colonies come and buy from your station or your planet, you will get some income. And there is also a trade bonus. This bonus, you won't be able to see it anywhere in the government here or in any screen, because this is localized. What this means that this is not a fixed bonus. It depends on the location where the friendly neighbors buy your resources from. So if we click on a spaceport and we go to design, you will see that I have a commerce center here which provides a 70% bonus. So let's say I sell one item that costs 100 credits. I will get 170 credits for that resource every time it is being sold from this location. If I didn't have this and it went ship bought it from the planet directly, because I don't have a component on the planet that increases that, I won't be able to get the bonus. So if you look at these two, I'm getting almost my entire bonus income from trading. I'm also getting some from tourism, but this depends on your situation, where you have planets, where you have resource bases. One thing also to keep in mind, for trading to work, you will need to have some friends for trading. So I have this faction which is same as my faction, same race, and I do have income in the last 5 years, 1 million something, and you can see that I have around 250,000 credits income each year from this faction. And I also have some restricted trade agreement with this faction, and I'm only getting around 50,000. Actually, no, around 10,000 credits. No, it's 24 last year and almost 10,000 this year. So depending on your trade agreement, of course, restricted trade agreement will provide less, and free trade agreement will provide more income. And also one extra thing to keep in mind, keep an eye on diplomacy. So if my friend here is at war with some other faction, which is not at this moment, but if it would be at war with another faction that would kill his trading ships, my income will drop. So if I want to have a friend that will provide income for my private sector, I would probably want to declare war on the same enemy and make sure that I protect my investment, his and my ship, because the trade work both way, and my ships are also gonna go and buy from him. So trading is important. Keep an eye out on his enemies, and also if you have with independent colonies. I don't have any at this moment, but keep an eye and make sure that you don't go to war with everyone. Keep some friends to trade with. There are many choices when it comes to weapons for your ships, but one thing that is more important than what weapon you choose is some other component, and that is the shield. In my opinion, shields are really important for ships and also space structures like mining stations, defensive platforms, and so on. You can see here that I already have in this combat Meridian Shields version 2. And also another piece of tech that you'll need is the repair bots. This will repair your ship. And of course some fusion reactors in order to have energy for those shields to work. You can see here that my ship has 1.5k strength, and this battleship has double that. And I'm also getting hit by some other ships, and I'm not even being damaged enough to deplete my shield. This is being regenerated as soon as it gets hit, and you can see that the battleship is taking damage, not enough to break it fast, but if I would go one-on-one with this ship, I would be able to defeat it without even losing my entire ship. You can also see here that I have also this ship that is almost losing its shield, but is being hit by 5 other ships. You can see that my destroyer is taking hits from battleship, multiple cruisers and so on, and the shield is regenerating very fast. It has a 5.5 regeneration rate per second, and also I have some quantum capacitors that add 1.0 regen per second. For every shield component, those 5.5 per second adds up, so they are additive, and that means that I have around 15-16 regen per second. And you can see that the enemy has only low level shields, which are like 2 tiers behind mine. The Eucalius shields version 2. If we go to the research tree, you can see that I have more advanced shields than my enemies, and I can stay and fight without losing any ships, although my enemy has like 3-to-1 ship ration and I'm in his system, so he is protecting his planet. In late game, a shield generator for the planet is really powerful because this will keep your planet safer, and you have time to respond for any invasion fleet that the enemy sends towards your planet. Mid to late game, you will unlock more than a shield generator for your planet. You will unlock multiple facilities that you can build. These provide bonuses on your local planet, but also for the entire empire. Make sure that you read the entire description of the bonuses, because some do have positive bonus, but there are also some that give negative bonus. For this example, you can see that the Galactic Command Center has a lot of positive bonuses for the empire and also for the local planet, but it also has some negative bonuses. Minus 25 colony income. So make sure that you don't place this building on your most productive planet, because in this example I have selected my capital, which has an income of 100k credits. That means if I put this construction here, I will lose 25,000 credits, so that's not really what I want. This command center also has minus 50% mining rate, and I would suggest also not to put it on a planet where you are collecting like exotic resources or resources that you desperately need, because this will decrease the efficiency of the mining on that planet. Facilities that have plus construction speed or plus recruitment rate for troops, I would suggest to put on planets that are near your enemies, that are well defended, so you can reinforce your fleets with more ships or more troops to invade the enemies without going back too far to do that. Of course, facilities that have plus income, put those on your most developed and profitable planets. Facilities that have plus development or happiness on the planets that you want to grow. If you have multiple planets that you want to grow, make sure that you prioritize the biggest planets in size. That means more population that will grow there, and that will also bring you more income. And of course, defensive buildings, prioritize those on the planets closer to your enemies. The enemies will attack not only the closest planets to their territory, but also in more advanced region. But make sure that you prioritize defensive buildings on planets that are on the edge of your empire. Mid to late game, your tech tree will look like this. You will have some branches upgraded more and some that you have ignored so far, and you will be focusing on your needs, but you might miss some notifications about some special research that you have unlocked. So my suggestion is always scroll to the right mid-game to late game to see if you have any super components that you can research. these are not linked to your basic tree, so when you start the game, even if you have all the tech tree visible, you won't see these ones. So if you scroll and check from time to time to see if you have this unlocked to be able to research them, these are really worth your time because are more powerful than the normal components and weapons and shields that you see in your normal tech tree. For example, wormhole drive here, which has hyperdrive speed of 5 million. You see that it's way better than the best hyperdrive in your normal tech tree. And also engines, shields, armors, and so on. These components are way better than your normal tech tree components, so make sure that from time to time, starting mid-game, you check this. I always miss the notification. I haven't seen the events because of all the wars and so on. But if you check the tech tree, you can use those in your advantage. In the early game, it's easy to build and manage your ships. You can just use any spaceport or planet and build ships there and move them. But when you are mid-game through late game and you have more than 15, 20, 30 colonies, it's harder to make sure that you build at the right place. So for example, if I select the wrong spaceport and I build my fleet here, and I want to attack this guy here or even the purple one here, it will take a long time for the ships to reach that destination. Of course, you can build ships by selecting the spaceport, and when you mouse over a spaceport, you will see the location where the circle it's pulsing over there, or any planet. But there is also an easier way to do this. You can order ships from this menu. You can, for example, you want to build, I don't know, an exploration ship, and you can order it. It will automatically be constructed at the next available spaceport, but you don't have to do that if you want a specific location. So what you can do is select the ship that you want to build, and you'll see an overlay here where you can build that ship. So for example, cruisers, you see this is not available. This station doesn't have enough resources, and you can check for any available location and say we want to build a destroyer, and you can click and order them here, and some here, and some here, and you can also mix them up and build some cruiser here. And you can see now I have 11 destroyer planned and 7 cruiser, and add whatever you want. So it's easier to make sure that you build at the right location, and this way you can be like 10 ships here in order to attack these guys here and some here, to start from this location, and at the end just hit the purchase button and you'll see the locations if you scroll through the spaceports and the planets. Early to mid game, it's easier to manage your colonies, your spaceports and fleets, but mid to late game, it's getting harder when you have this many planets and spaceports and fleets. Of course, you can find your fleets in this menu here. If we go to all, you'll see that I have 21 fleets all over the place. Usually you'll have some on defend, attack, invasion, do their stuff automatically. And you'll also have some on manual that you want to control for invasion or killing specific enemy bases. What you can do is, instead of going to this tab every time. You can also use the key bindings to bind your fleet. So if you select a fleet and you place control and numbers, you'll see that hotkey 1 was set to Armada 1. You can do this for every fleet. You can also do this for planets. So for example, if I want my capital, which is not most important right now, as you can see in this list. But if I access this planet often and I want to have it, I can also put this to control group. This usually comes in handy when you want to have like location in the middle of the war or somewhere. You can also put this on individual ships or other stations. And when you want to access them, you just have to press the key number and you'll go to their selection. And you can also double tap and this will zoom into their location. Works for ships and for stations as well. So make use of this, and especially for your most used fleets and bases. If this was helpful for you, like the video so we can spread to more people. And if you have any other questions, leave them in the comment section down below. Bye bye.